Hey YouTube, today I'm finally tackling the disaster that is this closet. I am so embarrassed by it. I try to organize this closet multiple times a year and every single time it turns out like this. So today we are going to finally implement a system for it, and that is going to be all clear containers. If you're new here, hi, my name's Nissa and I make videos about motherhood and homemaking. If you're interested in that type of content, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'd love to have you here. The first thing that I am doing is just taking everything out of this closet, and I'm going to pile it all in my dining room so that I can just see it all laid out and get a good idea of what I've even been hoarding in here. I'm a minimalist. I have been one, I would say, my entire life. Every time I got tired of something, I was ready to just get rid of it. I rarely ever let things sit around and say to myself, oh, I'll get back to it. If I'm done with it, I'm done with it, and it's going out the door. I'm not here saying that's a good thing, but that's just how I am. I struggle a lot with visual stimulation and clutter, so when I start to see a lot of stuff going on at once, I get very overwhelmed and tend to shut down. So I try to be very intentional with the things that I have and making sure that everything has a place, and that helps me stay better organized. However, this closet is one of the few exceptions, and part of it is because my kids use this closet a lot. They have their puzzles in here, they have their games in here, we keep diapers and wipes in here, coloring books, and it has just kind of become a chaotic dumping zone and space that they can't even function out of anymore because it's become such a hot mess. So that is why I'm going to implement a clear container system. That way every container has a special purpose, and because everything is in a clear container, it'll be much easier to see where everything is and where everything goes. It is not the most aesthetically pleasing way to organize. However, I feel like with young children, this will be the most friendly way for them to use this closet and maintain all of their things in it. I want to keep everything in this closet pretty much related to my kids and homeschooling activities, so it's going to be a lot of arts and crafts, puzzles, and games, and everything else that was in here that is related to my husband and myself. I'm going to move into our dining room hutch and make that more of an adult zone, and this will be a kid zone. Also, if you're wondering what the Home Depot bucket is doing there, we have a leak in our bathroom, which is right above our dining room ceiling, and we're going to be getting our bathroom remodeled in a couple of months. So if you're interested in a bathroom remodel video, definitely subscribe so that you can be notified of that video in the future. But now I'm just going to go ahead and wipe down all of these shelves and then get to organizing. I'm also going to go ahead and vacuum the floors. If you're wondering why we never took the vinyl flooring into the closet, honestly, it's because we have 3 young children. We have 3 under 3, and I know my husband was so overwhelmed this day and had a lot going on, and it only ended up being like 2.5 pieces. I found a clear fork in there, but it only ended up being 2.5 pieces of flooring that he needed to add in. So he's gonna go ahead and do that in this video, but here is just everything that was in my dining room that was so overwhelming. I can't believe I had so much stuff in that closet. Once I had all of this stuff piled out in the dining room, I definitely could feel myself starting to get overwhelmed because, like I said, I struggle so much with visual stimulation, and we also had something going on underneath our kitchen sink, so my husband was doing work under there, and then he moved on to putting the floors down in the closet. It felt so nice for the floors to finally be in the dining room closet and to have it just completely done on the first floor with the flooring. I actually just did our floors in our kitchen with peel and stick tiles, so if you're curious about that, go ahead and check out that video. But now I am just putting all of our games on the top shelf. I'm putting them all on the top shelf because my kids, like I said, are young and have a tendency to not put the pieces away. So if they're up here, they can't reach them and they have to ask me to bring them down, and I then have the right to say yes or no if I have the opportunity to sit and supervise them while they have the game out, or if I don't, I can say no. You know how it works. Moving on to the bottom, I got these Tupperware storage things. I don't even know what to call them. They're drawers. I got them from Target. And the reason I bought these instead of buying like an actual like plastic drawer organizer is because I measured the height from the floor to the shelf, and it's an odd height, and I couldn't find like the right size drawer set that would actually fit under there. So I thought if I got like these individual pieces, I could then just like stack them however I wanted or use them on like different shelves, and they ended up working out great. I'm taking this sticker off, and I am like so bad at removing these sticker labels that are on things. I always end up ripping them, so I was hoping to make this like a satisfying moment, but it honestly was just a fail. If you're curious about these containers, I will have them linked below. They were really affordable. The small one on top was only $12, and then the two larger ones were $16 each, which I feel like is not horrible. We love arts and crafts, and we have so much construction paper. I was really hoping to keep this in the top drawer so that it would be easy to take in and out, but I'm so sad to realize that the drawer was just slightly too small to fit the shape of this construction paper. So it is the only thing that I am still keeping in the hutch, which is the only thing I was a little disappointed about, but that's okay. I ended up using this drawer to keep our puzzles in, and that worked out pretty well. I got this Lazy Susan at Aldi. I love Aldi and all of of their finds. I also got some other containers from there as well. And I'm going to use this for all of our paint. I'm using it on the second highest shelf because, again, I want to keep the paint up here away from the kids, and I prefer if they asked me to use it before taking it all down, and they're all too short at the moment to reach any of this anyway. This is the other container I got from Aldi. I'm gonna just put more paint supplies in here, like our paint brushes and our watercolor paper. I have this container that actually was mine when I was a kid at my grandmother's house, and she gave it to me. So it has all of our paint brushes in it, and I like that it just is like slim and compact, so I'm putting that in the container as well. This little caddy I got in the $5 section at Target. I love Target so much. And it has all of our paints in it and more paint brushes, and I'm going to add that on the top shelf also. And then I'm going to move down back to the bottom. I kind of was all over the place in how I wanted to organize this closet, because I had an original idea on what I wanted to put in containers and in drawers, and then once you're just kind of like working it all around, you realize what's actually going to fit and what's not going to fit. In this container, I am putting all of our coloring books and just notebooks. My kids love to color, and they each have their own individual notebook that they sometimes will just take out and like pretend to write in or draw pictures in. And then I got all of these little baskets from the dollar store, and I have puzzles in them. The one thing I don't love about like modern day puzzles is that they don't come in boxes anymore. I feel like a lot of them just come wrapped up in plastic, and they're kind of hard to store. So that's why I got all those little baskets from the dollar store. And then in this other clear container, I'm putting all of our Play-Doh supplies and stuff in. I was using like these smaller clear acrylic containers, but I felt like our Play-Doh collection was just getting a little too big, that they weren't fitting in here anymore. In this bottom drawer, I'm putting my larger puzzles for the kids. We have a couple of alphabet and counting puzzles. That's what these all are for, and I like them for homeschooling. This grid puzzle is also great just for homeschool and understanding shapes. And then I use this basket for diapers and wipes. My youngest is still in diapers. I think we're probably gonna potty train her soon, maybe in like the next month. And then I have these containers. They're like cookie cans that I thrifted, and I keep our pencils and markers in them, and I don't know, I love them. I think they're just like so nostalgic, and they just like remind me of childhood, so that's why I keep them in there. And they're easy to take in and out, and we're gonna put them all into that drawer. I also found some more papers and notebooks that I'm gonna put in the other basket, and then we have some extra markers and watercolors that are gonna go down here also that I have not opened yet. At this point, I was really buffering and having a hard time processing what to do next, because this is how the dining room still looked. Even though the closet was looking really nice, there was just trash sitting out, a lot of donations, things that I didn't really understand why we even had, and I was having decision fatigue on whether we should keep them or throw them out or donate them. So I decided that in order to help my sanity, I should clear off some surfaces in my dining room and make my working space a little bit more functional. So this drawer I use for all of our pet supplies, and we just got a cat last year, and I've noticed that our pet supplies is growing, so I'm gonna move it all into the bottom drawer of this hutch because it is the largest drawer out of all of them, and that'll hopefully fit all of the stuff that we need for our dog and our cat a little bit better. And then I'm gonna go ahead and organize a couple of the other drawers as well. In this cabinet, I decided to keep all of our fitness supplies. So we have some resistant bands, a jump rope, our foam roller, and then this other thing that like stretches out your calves. I also had like a wrist brace. Why did I say wrist? Because sometimes I get like pain in my wrist. I think from just like carpal tunnel and being, you know, a mom and having nutrient deficiencies, those things happen. We have this why can I not talk? Massage gun and a cupping set. My husband and I love to cup each other in the winter. It's great for detoxing and just helping with blood flow and stuff like that. Sorry, words are really hard right now. In this drawer, I'm going to keep some of our extra electronics, and also in the drawer below, I am like very intimidated with messing around with like the cords and the electronics. I feel like that's more of like my husband's forte. Like a handful of these things are his, and I don't want to get rid of something that he might need. So I'm just going to keep them in these drawers. They're already empty anyway. And then in this upper drawer, it has all of these like markers that are supposed to be like the ones for the special paper, like the mess-free markers, I guess. And we haven't used them in a long time, probably over 6 months. Our kids have really been liking just the normal Crayola markers, so I think it's okay that I retire these and get rid of them. Once I had the hutch organized, I had a better idea of how I wanted to use the last shelf in the closet. That way all of the arts and crafts supplies could officially be together. And then the last thing that I went ahead and did was just wipe the closet door down because it had some milk splatters on it. My kids are huge milk drinkers in this house, and sometimes when they drop their sippy cups, it just splatters, and I've noticed that there are often surfaces that just need to be wiped. Which, yeah, that's normal. Just giving myself that friendly reminder. But if you made it this far, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you found some motivation and encouragement in this video and that it gave you some good ideas for organizing your own home. I really hope that you consider liking and subscribing, and I'm really happy with how this turned out, and my kids are really enjoying it too. It has been serving us very well.